Welcome to Coach's Corner, our weekly visit with coaches from Ponca City High School. And throughout the football season, of course, we have the pleasure of having Coach Josh Allen with us every week. And we have Josh Allen here with us now, and we're going to talk football. First of all, big turnout, lots of support for the Ponca City Wildcat football team in homecoming. And the dinner with the Pohai Steppers was incredible. I believe they set some records with that. I'm pretty sure they did. And the new drive-through service addition was amazing. It certainly was. And then the crowd at Sullen Stadium, just incredible. That hometown support and spirit was certainly felt by the players, by the coaches, by the spirit squads, the high steppers, the cheerleaders, the band. Everyone was excited. And Coach Josh Allen, the games don't always go the way we hoped they would as far as the scoreboard goes, but you had to have been proud looking up in those stands and seeing the incredible outpouring of support. Folks loved their Wildcats regardless.
Oh, yeah. Ponca City did a great job supporting us the other night. The crowd was loud, and you could really feel it. And anyway, I thought the homecoming festivities and stuff was done right. And again, Ponca City, it makes it a great place to live in because it's got that feel to it. If I was a high school student, I would have loved being a part of homecoming week this week, and everything was just done the way it should be done, and appreciate the crowd coming out. And it was all right. The game didn't quite go as it planned, but still a lot of good things. A lot of fun.
Lots of fantastic support, and of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the game a little bit. So we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about some big matchups coming up. Of course, this week, Bixby on the schedule, and then a Thursday night game with Sapulpa, 3 away games in a row. Bixby, Sapulpa, Norman. We're going to talk about those, and those all happened before senior night on November 4th. With Muskogee coming to town for a matchup in Sullen Stadium. So, Coach, Sand Springs, Peyton Scott with Sand Springs was a difference maker in that game. But, of course, that's not uncommon for Peyton Scott. He's a difference maker every single game for Sand Springs, and
yes,
he would be for any team. Just how big of an impact do you feel he made on that game?
Well, he's he's a talented guy. We had trouble tackling him. Sand Springs, credit to their coach. They're a physical bunch of kids. Their O-line did a great job. But still, he's a special running back and probably the best we've seen individually all year. And, we just, along with their good O-line play we had trouble stopping him. And he made a lot of big plays against us. And, we took several guys to bring him down or we had several guys there and he breaks those tackles and gets around the edge. But they enforce their will on you running it, and give credit to them. They're tough kids, and but that tailback definitely makes them a hard team to stop. So and we thought we should have done a little bit offensively. We thought we were going to have a better night. We thought we saw some things in their defense, and give credit, their defense was a lot tougher than what we had planned for.
Well, Coach, now, of course, the scoreboard doesn't end up showing what we all wanted to see, what you and the players wanted to see. However, are there some positives and benefits for your players getting the experience against a Peyton Scott and against a defense that was much more of a challenge than anticipated? Yeah. What kind of value comes from that for your players?
Well, again, all year, it's some excuses. We only had 3 returning starters this coming into this season. Now, coaches, we don't like to, we want to win now and win as many, now, and we always strive each week to do that. But that still is something you got to deal with, and then a reality that's there. But so we're playing a handful. There's a chunk of sophomores that are playing, probably a little more than what you would normally like that are playing right now. But so there's every experience, every game, you're growing a little bit. I'll say this: our O-line play graded out awesome. Coach Tagg has done an excellent job with our offensive line. We had over 200 yards rushing in the game. Justin Andrews, for the second week in a row, had over 100 yards or about 100 yards rushing. And so, That's his second 100-yard over 100-yard a day. So we're doing some good things. We ran the ball well. Throwing game was not as good as it has been, and we needed it to, and that probably was the X factor there. And then just like we talked about with Peyton Scott, that for our defense, we just couldn't keep up with the scoring and that deal. And there was a drive where I feel like as coaches we could have done a little better. In one drive, I think that maybe could have helped us score. So otherwise, it just they were better in team than we were, and we'll just we just look at where we improved at. But I'll say this: our some good things on defense, but our offensive line, Coach Tagg really had them ready to go, and they really executed well.
Yeah, you got to feel great about that. I tell you what, these players, they give it their all. And there's something that you recognize when you're watching the Wildcats play, and it's that never give up spirit. They do not give up, and that's got to be credit to these athletes and what they're learning from you and the coaching staff to hold your head up high and get out there and work.
Yeah, and we talk about football. It's an analogy for life. It's never always going to go your way.
Right.
But we want to be men of character, and we want to be a team of character. And when you just something about not giving up, not quitting, is something that you can take with you long beyond the season. And if you start, we want as people want to train those habits and look to things get tough, don't give up, and then obviously rally around each other as much as you can.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things getting tough. headed to that was a nice segue, right?
Yeah.
Well, Bixby is on the schedule now. Bixby has proven in the district and across the state to be kind of a powerhouse team in
3 state titles in a row.
3 state titles in a row. That speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's
going
to be
Jinx this year already.
They beat Jinx certainly. Bixby's going to be a challenge when you look at Bixby on film and you're preparing your athletes for this game Friday night in Bixby. What do you see?
It's different. It's different than like Booker T, where Booker T, a lot of athletes and speed. Is it different? Bixby's a kind of a different. They're just what we as a coaching staff call the ultimate football program, meaning they're just highly organized, well coached. They're doing quite a bit of X and O's. That you would think a high school team maybe would struggle with, but they're doing it. So their level of, just it's an ultimate program from the investment from, how we want to get to, from how their administration and, their community invests in the football program, to their coaches, to their players, their setup, weightlifting, everything. They just do, it's just an ultimate football program that has really done things well. And Coach Montgomery is, and his staff do a great job. These guys have really, they're 3-time state champions. They have great players. Obviously, you can't win championships without great players, but they also are just well coached, well organized. So you're fighting. We might match up actually. Like I say, better in some areas than a Booker T, but you're fighting just. Those guys. Yeah, they you might be close maybe in some in athletes to some of these guys, but these guys are really well coached, well organized, and you got to play well. They're going to beat you just from the fact that just how well they run their operation. They got a tough offensive system X and O wise. They got a tough X and O system defensively. They're doing a lot of fronts and coverages. On the defensive side, and then they have a real hard. What you call system between the quarterback has options to run it or pass it, and they stretch you out with their formations, and they really just put a lot of pressure on you, and they're very good at what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As you prepare the team for this contest, where do you find the keys where improvement's going to need to happen? I know the offensive line, you had an incredible performance from them. The running game was working with Sand Springs. How are those things, and what are some other things that can improve, that can make this Bixby contest interesting?
Well, if you start off offensively, we got to continue to run the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe if we also would like to maybe take some hits off our quarterback too, so we maybe could have our tailbacks run the ball a little more and carry the load a little bit. We got to throw the ball better than we did against Sand Springs, and so we're going to have to work on, just maybe simplify some things and make sure we can execute well on the passing side. And then, no turnovers there, and then defensively, we're gonna have to do a better job of stopping the run,
Sure.
and maybe force them to take away the easy pass. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Make them throw longer down the field. Don't give them the easy pass in their system. So I'd say that would be the two things: is we got to stop the run, take away the easy pass, and then just offensively try to pass the ball a little bit better.
Do you do a lot of coaching when, as far as turnovers go?
Mm-hmm.
Do you coach turnover, how to create turnovers
Yeah.
and how to make it happen? Is that a big part of practice?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, in reality, we did a better job for the second. We had an early turnover that was a big momentum shift in our first drive. But again, I'm trying to think. I believe we were, for the second straight week in a row, we only had one turnover. On offense for a whole game. So compared to, we'd like to have 0 turnovers, but when you're comparing it to our first 4 games where it was literally 4 or 5 plus turnovers in some of those early games, it's a lot better. But, that's definitely something that's been harped on. Like, for example, our guys today they'll run a gasser for that one turnover. We will still harp. We had that one turnover. So as coaches, we can't let that slide. You just put an emphasis on it. Obviously, we've done football security drills, how we hold it. I've worked with, drills with, if you watch me coaching the quarterbacks, you would have thought it was something weird was going on. I'm having them, playing a game, having them scramble around, throw it out of bounds, hit the track, with nobody around. Like, what's he doing? We're working on throwing the ball away. Yeah. So those are things that, our drills and such that we are, have worked on.
On the flip side of that, as far as the defense goes, do you coach and teach them techniques to get that ball or to create? How do you coach that? Like to create those turnovers?
Defense school. We work punch out. Where you work strip and punch out so you can secure a tackle, and then while you're bringing your other hand to wrap up, you work a punch or a rip. Yeah, there's definitely that goes on. Obviously, you want your guys being smart about you want them to be smart, not be go after a ball and then and then the guy, you miss the tackle and the guy goes for a big play. But at the same time, you want your guys to be able to, when the time's right, to drive a ball and try to get an interception and such, or obviously. So yeah, we definitely work, especially the stripping and punching and defense. You definitely work those to try to create that.
Absolutely. Well, every week we have Coach Josh Allen with us throughout the football season on Coach's Corner, and we're very happy about that. Happy to have Coach Josh Allen with us. Now, Bixby, it's a big game, Friday night. They could sure use your support if you're planning on traveling. Have a safe trip and back those Cats in Bixby for that big game. Then the next week, it's a special Thursday night game with Sapulpa because of fall break. Mm-hmm. And tell us, now we're going to talk more about Sapulpa, Norman, and Muskogee in future editions of this show, but just briefly, Sapulpa, Norman, and Muskogee, what do you see for those 3 games?
Oh yeah, we beat Norman a year ago at our place. Sapulpa's, very similar to us, the type of year. They're they've had trouble winning games as well. It's just a tough district, and so that game will probably be a nail biter, between 2 of us. And then Muskogee's a very talented ball club, probably outside of Booker T is probably one of the more talented. Them or Booker T probably has the most talent speed wise and such, so they'll come to town for our senior night and our last home game. So anyway, we got a lot to look forward to.
All right, there's still plenty of Ponca City Wildcat football season remaining, and we encourage you to make plans now. If you can get to the Bixby Sapulpa or Norman game, great, and absolutely hope you get it on your calendar to be at Sullivan Stadium November 4th. It's on my calendar. I hope to see you there. And Coach Josh Allen will be there along the sidelines with those Cats, and they'll be ready to play. Coach Josh Allen, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Coach Josh Allen, head coach of the Ponca City Wildcat football team. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Coach's Corner. Until next time, thank you for watching.